What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that title was going down. Make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Says Zohran Mamdani refuses to allow NYPD to cooperate with ICE and call immigration enforcement cruel. How I feel about it, how I truly feel about it, is definitely wild to even be like that. It's more so of you have this party that truly cares more so about illegal aliens rather than Americans, rather than people that serve this country. There's a lot of people, a lot of illegal aliens that's getting more assistance than people that actually serve this country, and that's what I really have a really big problem with, is that they putting them first, and I find it insane that they're doing that. I truly find it insane that they're doing that. Check it out what he said.
As right I've made very clear that our laws leave no room for interpretation about the fact that our NYPD will not participate in civil immigration enforcement. And I've also been very clear about my views on ICE raids as a whole. I think that they are cruel. I think that they are inhumane. I think that they do not serve any interest of public safety.
And he's saying public safety. Let me tell y'all something. People insert themselves in things. And I feel like if people just let these agents do their job, let the police do their job, I feel like things will go right. I've always gotten taught that. My dad's been a police officer. Oh, man. Dad's been a police officer for 27 years, I believe. Something like that. And he's always said, just comply. Just it's important to do that. It's very important, and I've always said, and I've told y'all before, for your safety and for their safety. And I feel like so many people don't understand it and get that. You have it right here. Zohran Mamdani response to President Trump answered, more so about arresting him if he blocks operations in New York City. Says the President of the United States just threatened to have me arrested, strip my citizenship, and put me in detention camp and deported. Not because I've broken any law, but because I refuse to let ICE terrorize our city. Says his statements don't just represent an attack on democracy, but an attempt to send a message to every New Yorker who refuses to hide in the shadows. If you speak up, they will come for you. We will not accept this intimidation. Let me tell y'all something regarding this. I'm not even about to, because it's going to sound bad. They're trying to make it look like they're terrorizing their city. And that ain't even really his city. I'm going to be wondering with y'all. I truly feel like real New Yorkers aren't liking what Zohran Mamdani got going on. Real New Yorkers have left New York City. I completely find it insane that he's pushing this whole agenda when it comes down to ICE. Check it out, y'all.
I think there are a few things. One is a reaction of pain at seeing what people have to go through in these kinds of facilities. And these are conditions that they offend the conscience of so many, not just here in New York City, but frankly across the country. This is partially why I have put forward a vision alongside so many others to say that ICE should be abolished, that there is no way to reform this kind of cruelty that we're seeing endemic in the way that immigration is being enforced across the country. When it comes to our city, we are proud of our sanctuary city policies. We are proud of the policies we've put forward and also the executive orders we've put forward to ensure that every single agency is complying with those policies.
What do you say to people who say language, and there's Democrats in D.C. who say language like abolish ICE or unhelpful for the political health of the Democratic Party?
I think if we've listened to them before and look where we are. I think it's time to develop a new vision for this party, one that is unflinching in its beliefs and also uncompromising in its principles. And one of those principles has to be that Americans need not walk down the street fearful of the fact that they might be shot dead by federal agents in masks without badges.
See, I feel like that right there is that he's dragging it. I truly feel like, he's dragging it when it comes down to it. And I say that because he sees on how bad, I'm going to show y'all, he sees how bad people are not even wanting him as mayor anymore. They're seeing that he's messing up everything when it comes down to New York City. People are seeing that. And he's using this in this interview, basically, obviously to cover up the mess that he's caused. Somebody had commented this picture right here. Literally just says, you know, to make New York City livable again. You got the tax the rich boards over here. Free everything city. Fix our city. Enough chaos. You have everything that's going on around this whole picture that somebody, you know, has right here. And it's a strong picture. It's definitely a strong picture about what's going on, and it's truly sad and sickening, you know, of even seeing that, of what he's about. You got it right here. This is Laura Dunn, says abolishing ICE isn't enough and calls to give. Bro, there's no way. It says Laura Dunn says abolishing ICE isn't enough and calls to give compensation to the criminal illegal aliens and along with citizenship.
So we really need to take this country back. It's not just abolishing ICE, it's reducing Customs and Border Patrol from the 100-mile jurisdiction to just 10. They are there for a specific purpose, not more. My first act in Congress will be to ensure that we have truth and reconciliation commissions. I want to unmask these ICE agents. I want them named, and I want victim compensation for what they have done for the survivors and those who did not survive, to honor their families and make sure that they have citizenship in our country. So we really need to take this.
And I have citizenship in this country. I'm telling y'all something, man. It seems like they care way more about the illegal aliens than the Americans. I'm telling y'all. I've not seen none of them push anything like this. I've seen them lie about it. I've seen them talk about it. Because I was one of those individuals growing up. You know, I've obviously come from a Democratic family. So when you have a bunch of people saying, oh, yeah, we're going to do this for y'all, and we're going to have this, and we're going to make sure this happens, this, that, and the other, you hear that and nothing happens. Nothing happens at all. Legal aliens, man, I'm talking about they doing everything they can. Everything they can. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, though. And y'all know that reason. Check it out.
I don't see how any centrist or moderate person, whether you're Democrat or independent, can vote for the Democrats. They have completely lost their mind. And I don't care if you don't like a lot of the things the Republicans do. When you're caught, there is a New York Democrat that's going viral on X. I guess they're doing, I don't know what they're doing in New York, but they're on the platform. These are Democrats. And one of the Democrats said, not only do we all agree, because there was 4 or 5 of them, that we need to abolish ICE, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard. This is the same as abolishing the police. But ICE does more than just deport illegal immigrants. They do all kind of stuff. They do human trafficking. They stop human trafficking. They do a lot of stuff that makes our country safe.
And assisting, you know, when needed.
On top of getting criminal illegals out that are killing and raping and bringing drugs into our country. So no more of that. So we'll just have a crime-infested country full of crime, like California and these blue states, New York and these places like that. They want to get rid of Border Patrol, so they don't want to have any border. They want people to just be able to come into the country, millions. But it's really about power. I want you guys to understand they're stupid, but it's more than just that. They want more illegals to come in because they want to get power. They want to give these people citizenship so they can vote Democrat, so the Republicans can never win another election. That's really what it's all about. It's not that they care about these illegals. It's a political strategy, and they know it is, but they're not going to say it. But that's really what it all boils down to. But they're willing to destroy America because they know that no nation can take all those illegal immigrants in without the nation collapsing, financially and economically and morally and everything else. She says she believes not only should we abolish ICE, get rid of the border, but we also should. This is the Democratic Party stance. Now she's saying we need to give illegal compensation for how they've been treated. So now the illegals who broke into our country, committed a crime, come into our country, the criminals that are making our seats unsafe. We actually going to take money from the taxpayer to not fund veterans, and we're going to give it to illegal immigrants. That's what she said. Can you believe that? They've completely lost their mind. The Democrats party have become a party of people that need to be in insane asylums, and it's dangerous.
I mean, I truly just don't understand. I truly don't understand. It's definitely correct with it. One thing about it, definitely correct. Just look and see. I can't play this audio, but just look and see how bad, literally how bad it is when it comes down to New York. I can't play the music, but just look how bad this is, yo. This is a problem. This is disgusting. I don't get it. It's truly disgusting. I'll tell you that much. And you got this dude. Says Zohran Mamdani went on CNN and laid out his big plan to solve New York cost of living crisis. His solution is build 200K new affordable units, reserve another 200K, and dump billions into more public housing. Price tag, up to $100 billion over the next decade. This is the same city where it costs over $106,000 a year for a couple with no kid just to exist. Somehow, his answer is still more important than housing. More taxes on the people who actually pay for things and more debt. The people who made New York the most expensive city in America are now promising to fix it by doing the exact same thing, just bigger. And like I've said multiple times, you know, it ain't right.
Mr. Mayor, for being here as you're rolling out this new plan. Just for everyone to understand the reality of what New Yorkers are facing, there was a study that your Office of Equity and Racial Justice did that found that the median cost for a couple with no kids is over $106,000 to live in New York. That's without kids, just to emphasize that. When everything from gas to food, construction prices are up, what do you expect a number like that to be by the end of this year?
You know, I think we're going to keep seeing numbers like that increase across the country, given the economic conditions that Americans are living with. As you said, the war in Iran also is not just a moral affront or a political affront, it's also an economic affront to Americans' ability to make ends meet. And that even trickles down to New Yorkers' ability to live in this city. However, the announcement we made today of a plan called Block by Block is looking to do everything we can to actually lower costs in this city, because we know that at the heart of a cost of living crisis, the number one driver of that crisis is the housing crisis. And this is an announcement that does three key things. It builds 200,000 new affordable homes, preserves 200,000 affordable homes alongside it. And then additionally, it invests in tenants across the city, makes it easier to provide code enforcement for housing violations, and does all of this while investing more than $5 billion in public housing, which has long been neglected, not just in our city, but frankly across our country.
And I know during the campaign you wanted to double the city's funding for public housing. Right now it's about $1.2 billion annually. The executive budget you have calls for $5.6 billion over 5 years. Do you still plan ultimately to double it?
Yes. Absolutely. This is the first step in our administration's approach to delivering for New Yorkers who, at the beginning of NYCHA's inception, were shown a vision of city government delivering dignity for the most working class of the city. And yet over the last few decades, ever since the Reagan cuts, we have seen public housing be overlooked and ignored time and time again, where now public housing has about $80 billion in capital needs. And too often, that's been a figure that's been used to justify doing nothing. And what we're saying as an administration is that we're not going to wait any longer for the federal government to be a partner in this work. We're going to start to deliver it ourselves.
Well, I mean, speaking of your government and the state government, the plan is also calling for up to $100 billion in that public investment over a decade, funded through municipal bonds, higher taxes on corporations and top earners. Do you think you'll get the state approval that requires?
You know, we continue to be confident of the partnership we're building with the state. We've seen our ability to spend more of our capital dollars on housing as something that was unlocked through that partnership, and it's going to continue.
I ain't gonna lie, I can't sit here and keep on listening to these lines, bro. Like I've honestly like heard enough already, but like I can't continue to keep on listening to these lies. I just feel bad for the people that actually cannot move because they can't afford to move. That's what I feel bad for, because this is honestly unacceptable. He's literally a person that talks a big game and nothing happens, bro. The only thing that happens is, and I don't want to make this about, but horrible things. Horrible things when they come down to it. And y'all just see on how bad New York City is moving. Check out what President Trump said about Zohran Mamdani recently.
So easy, you know, I'd be the greatest in the world. Nobody would be as good as me. I'd get away everything. I could be the greatest. I would sell them. You're going to get free rent. You're going to get free houses. You're going to get free food. You're going to get free everything. But eventually that ends. And it leads to death, destruction, and squalor. 100% of the time. When I watched New York, and you know, I liked him very much. He stood right here, and he's been in the office a couple of times. The mayor of New York, I think he's a very nice person, and I don't know, he's a smart guy. I don't understand why he thinks it's okay for all these companies that pay hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes a year to leave.
Yeah, obviously ain't that smart. You doing that.
Base, and you're going to end up in hunger and squalor and death and destruction. I would be better than him if I wanted to go that route. Ladies and gentlemen, you no longer pay rent. You no longer have to pay interest on your mortgage. In fact, I'll end your mortgage.
I'm not gonna lie, I do not know what is wrong with this video, but let me tell y'all something. Somebody actually commented. I thought about it. I want to make sure I got this right. Somebody commented and said the audio is messed up pretty bad with this video. Towards the end. But President Trump said I would be better than him if I went that route. No more rent, mortgage. I'll cut everything, food. I'll give you groceries. You'll have the greatest life ever. Follow me. One thing about it, I'm not gonna lie. I don't see, me personally. And I've said this from the get go of even doing the video when it comes down to Zohran Mamdani. Before he was elected in, I knew for a fact that they were going to do that, and then they were going to turn on him because they wouldn't like anything, you know, that he had going on. And y'all truly see it. But hey, that's on them. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love to everybody. Comment down below what y'all think about this. Catch y'all next one.